Some breaking news to get to. A pursuit ongoing right now as we come on over it with SkyCal overhead. Looks like we're on the 710 northbound. And last we checked, this was a reckless driving want that I believe was initiated out of Compton.
Yep.
And it looks like we're breaking in with a pursuit that is ongoing right now in the middle of what seems to be heavy traffic, at least relatively speaking on a Sunday night. You see the suspect sort of going back and forth. We know so far that it is a reckless driver that authorities are chasing after right now.
That's right. And we are getting word that this may have started in the Compton area, the sheriff's department out there initiating the chase that then handed it off to CHP, which is what we're watching here. But I mean, speeds going quite high as you see that car right there, white Infiniti, passing everybody on the left side of those lanes. Very dangerous situation. We know, again, this is at night. There's a lot of still traffic in some places, and this could be, something that can take a turn quite quickly, especially with the speeds that we're watching this person go as they weave in and out of traffic.
That's the most dangerous part as we continue to keep an eye over it right now is the weaving in and out of traffic. We've already seen sort of maneuverings at incredibly high speeds, and if the clock in the top right corner, the speedometer there, upwards of 100+ miles an hour, it's just frightening to keep an eye on, especially, as Hunter pointed out, at night where you don't know if you are on these roads right now and you just see lights flashing by you ever so quickly. So far, only seeing at least one CHP vehicle behind this pursuit suspect, and right now we just kind of maintain overhead because right here is one of those spots where you start to really worry.
Especially when those lanes start to merge there, but that CHP officer seems to be staying quite close behind that white Infiniti. So if you're just now joining us, here's what we know. A reckless driver is who we are being told they are pursuing as they seem to be exiting right here, or at least getting on the far right lanes. We don't know how many people are in that vehicle. Another, key point that drivers or officers, possibly know just how many people they're dealing with. But wow, they are going quite fast as we see them move through the 710, looking like they are exiting near North Long Beach.
And does it look like there's not so much a license plate on the back
Almost
of that?
like a yellow paper.
It's just fluttering there. So don't know if that's sort of
coincidence,
a temporary plate, anything like that. All of that to bring up as to whether the car is registered to someone that authorities know who it is, because obviously if they already know who this is, then you have all that information on tap, and perhaps you could even pull back at a certain point, because that's one of the many variables that you start considering, or that law enforcement starts considering in these circumstances, is depending on what the want is, depending on how many people and how much of an imminent danger it is to everyone around, maybe they pull back, go back into a tracking mode, and then sort of wait and see. But clearly that is not happening right now. It is incredibly close, very tight right now, especially with all of these other cars and all this other traffic in the immediate area.
And you just kind of hold your breath, right, as you see not only that white Infiniti that's going quite fast, but obviously also the CHP officer. Again, those cars that are on the freeway right now, if anybody's been driving down at night on any Los Angeles freeway, it can be jarring to just look behind you, see those helicopters overhead, those cops behind you. A lot of people just try to get out of the way, but sometimes that means getting out of the way into the path of that stolen vehicle that's going so fast. I mean, the closer you get here as we zoom in, 120 miles per hour, that typically is just how fast they are going, and just getting so very close to those other cars here on the freeway. Just so scary to watch.
Yeah, it's even scarier, like you said, when you start zooming in here and just how many close calls there are. And any moment could be incredibly pivotal, dangerous, and potentially deadly, because then you're factoring in all of these other people who might, you make one merge into a left lane or into your adjacent lane the other way, and then all of a sudden it could be this car coming up behind you. So right now, still in the Downey Norwalk area, still on the 710, looks like we're just going northbound and flying.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now.
and Gio, we've been talking about that plate on the back that can potentially be blowing around, but it also maybe appears, our producer seeing maybe something black hanging out of the back of the window as we kind of zoom in there, trying to figure out if that's part of the license plate that could be a temporary plate, or if there's something else that's kind of outside of the back of the trunk or there near the license plate. But brake lights are on. We'll see if there's maybe some traffic that's going to be slowing them down as they continue to move down this freeway 710. And now going back to the Compton area. Now, if we're circling back, we see a lot of times these vehicles drive where they feel the most comfortable, where they either know the roads or they have somewhere that they're going, like a destination or an intersection where they hop out. So, we see this entering the Compton area again. Those officers may know that he's going back to where
especially
he came from.
as those pursuits start to sort of linger and keep going for a prolonged amount of time, and suspects in this case tend to realize that there's not much else to do. And you know, I'm trying to get a look there. It almost looked like there was a light flashing. I can't tell if right around the front left tire, there's either, you know, something black or otherwise, you know, hard to tell. I'll just kind of keep an eye on it because I'm thinking about the back license plate that's sort of just kind of fluttering around if that is a license plate. But otherwise, still, the fact of the matter is start getting into those HOV lanes on the far left and just, oh, no, there it is. And it just sort of hit the back of the car. You see sparks flying a little bit here. So I mean, there is a lot to consider in terms of the danger as we start weaving from far left lanes to far right lanes. And, you know, you almost hope that you kind of get, either slows down or gets off into those surface streets where at the minimum the speeds will slow down significantly.
Yeah, I mean, that is interesting to kind of see those sparks flying. Could be anything, could have hit something. We know that sometimes if they drive on the shoulder out of those main lanes, there's all that debris
and going so fast
on the sides of the roads. Yeah, if they hit that going at the right angle or they hit the wrong piece of debris, that can also cause a lot of issues. But yeah, I mean, it is just very hard to believe to see quite how fast they're going, but for how long they've kept these speeds up. I mean, we've been over it now for about 5 to 10 minutes, and they have not slowed down once.
No, not at all, as we're on East Imperial Highway right now, still in the Compton area, so you wonder, again, because that's where this pursuit initially started, was the Compton area, before then CHP took over as they jumped on the freeway, but they're just weaving through any bit of traffic right now. So I guess, man, right there.
Squeezing through.
You know, it almost looked like it scraped, but I couldn't tell. It might have just been a narrow miss, but here we go. It almost looks like, is this potentially an exit and getting onto surface area streets? Yeah, it looks that way. Okay, so now the dynamics obviously change. And the good news is you're slowing down a bit, but clearly this person is not someone who is considered or rather worried about high speeds, because there you go, just 50, 60 miles an hour. And
we can't tell if it was a red light or not.
No,
obviously, those cars were stopped. Were they stopping because of the commotion or because it was a red light? I mean, those are where, too, things can get so dicey so quick. Looks like he's just blowing through on the opposite side as he takes that dangerous left-hand turn through all those lanes of traffic. I mean, this guy is not going to let up. It does not appear.
No. And going back to your earlier point, Hunter, because we see this so often with pursuits, especially as they continue to go on, and knowing, at least from our vantage point so far, that this started in Compton. Now we're back in Compton after at least some extended period of time on the freeway. You take a look at the video from earlier on the right side where you see the sparks flying a little bit. It looks like upon review of that video, it's almost like it might have just been friction, right? You just hit any sort of bump going at that speed, then boom, you're gonna hear, and you're gonna go up against something down there. So here we go again, just keeping an eye on this. 90 miles an hour. I mean, goodness, it's frightening just to look at.
It's frightening because, again, you just think of all the other people that are now in danger because this person has decided to drive like this. As we see them blow through another red light, just no regard for anybody else in that intersection right there. As we saw one person try to slow down and try to stop midway through that green light for the other drivers. And we're following this car because they were trying to be pulled over for reckless driving. It's obvious this driver has continued that behavior as we see them reaching speeds of 88 miles per hour on what appears to be surface streets in the East Los Angeles area.
And the one counterpoint, or I should say additional point right now, that we were noticing as we jumped off the highway and here onto these more surface level streets is that the CHP Cruiser, at least the one that we were keeping an eye on, that was incredibly close behind, just tightly monitoring this vehicle on the highway, is not at that same distance here. So obviously dynamics might change a little bit here as authorities continue to keep an eye on the situation. But once again, looks like wrong side of the road. And there you go. You have one car coming, multiple cars coming this direction. And here's where it gets extremely worrisome, because at any moment, and we've seen this before in many other examples, you just either rear end someone or someone hits you head on, or all it takes is a little swipe, you know, and then it could be veering off into a home or into a wall or someplace else at any given moment.
I mean, you got to wonder, too, is if when you start to see them getting into these situations as they appear to be taking another left-hand turn with not a lot of slowing down, is if CHP has decided to back off because they just don't want to aggravate this person more than they clearly already are, as we see them turning down a street. Again, this is where we start to look for those cars to come to a stop and people jump out. You know, we'll see them jump out, run into backyards, run into maybe homes if they're familiar with this area. As we know, it was in the Compton area just just a few minutes ago. I mean, this could be part of their plan to be able to get out of that car, abandon it, which is what we see sometimes in areas like this.
Yeah, and right now it just kind of looked like it took a loop. Like we made a left turn and then
Another
circled
left
right
turn,
back,
yeah.
right back around to another left turn back out onto the same street. Really didn't look like you made much of a
No.
distance or gap or anything. At first, it seemed exactly like they were going to do what you were suggesting, and they still very well could.
Yeah.
Right? It's just kind of buying time right now as you're kind of going through these residential areas, these neighborhoods, and you see a lot of storefronts, you see a lot of cars parked on the streets, a lot of people just milling about on their Sunday night, probably winding down given the time. And then, of course, there's a reckless driver pursuit going on in the middle of their neighborhood.
And you got to wonder, too, I mean, just how many people are out walking on those sidewalks. They're taking all those left turns, barely even braking, and people could be crossing the street. I mean, these are the type of pedestrian accidents, too, that can become so dangerous as we see them move through and maneuver through Walnut Drive in the Southgate area there in East Los Angeles. I mean, no regard for where these cars are going and how they're getting into the path of other drivers.
And worth repeating once again that we don't, aside from the fact that we know that authorities are pursuing this driver as it looks like the car might be slowing down. You saw the brake lights at least go off just a little bit there.
Oh, if they got out. So that they've got the light on him from the chopper, but that car is abandoned. It could be that they've just let it go or somebody else is in the car and this is a passenger. We just don't know. But it's, I mean, where's CHP? You got to wonder how far away they were.
And I was going to add to that, but there you go, right there. Authorities are right there. So this is where the dynamics change, obviously, as you start considering backyards and you have fences, people's homes, a lot of places where folks can disappear to, for lack of a better word. But I was going to bring up the fact that we didn't know how many people were in that vehicle. It could just be that one that we saw leap out right now, as authorities now will get into this mode where you establish a bit of a perimeter, you try to sort of whittle down the area, because now you don't have to worry about a high-speed pursuit, as we see another
officer
pull up right there. Yes, exactly. And now obviously it's a little bit leveraged against this suspect that they're looking for.
What's tough to see from this angle is that there's that tree. Obviously, we don't know if this person is maybe surrendered and is on the ground right now. I doubt it, but from the way they were running, it did appear they were trying to get as far away from cops as they could. But that tree just right there, right position where we saw that guy last get out of the car, as we see these officers.
It's dark too, so it's hard to make out exactly.
Do they have him in handcuffs? They've got somebody in handcuffs.
It looks
that
like
white sweatshirt right there.
Right there.
Okay. So potentially the only person that was in the vehicle. We could be talking about more suspects that got out.
Doesn't seem like there was anything else, at least based on our vantage point, given SkyCal and what we're looking at here from behind the desk. So okay, at least it seems
to come to an end. That was close.
Terribly worried. A lot of close calls throughout that entire pursuit. Incredibly worrisome. But I don't think, unless you caught something else that I didn't see, just that one person jumped out of the vehicle, which I think was just kind of, it was still going,
which we see that sometimes too, right? Like they just abandon the car and they just kind of let it drift down the street, which can also make it confusing for those officers to determine if maybe they, had knowledge that there was just one person in the vehicle or two. But it does appear that this person either, gave themselves up to authorities. It looks like that CHP, patrol car could just be clearing the scene. But if, SkyCal, we can't really tell. Is the car just kind of lumbering about? Do we see where it ended up? Was somebody else in it? There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Does appear to be abandoned then.
So we'll continue to obviously monitor the situation, keep an eye out for you. We'll update you coming up on CBS LA at 11 o'clock in about 25 minutes.